This question asks us to work on symbolic translation of conditional and biconditional statements. So just a quick reminder, when we're talking about the conditional statement, that's statements that are connected by just the one arrow. Biconditional, that's statements that are connected by the double-ended arrow. So for this example, we're told consider the statements P and Q where they're defined as follows. P is the fact that it is Sunday, and Q is the statement that we are having sushi for dinner. So for parts A and B, we're supposed to fill out the symbolic form. For part C, we're supposed to choose the descriptive form, so going the other way, interpreting the symbols and writing them in words. You see we've got three options here. I'll talk about it as though we didn't have those options. So this first statement, just kind of as you read it out loud, says, "It is not Sunday if and only if we are having sushi for dinner." So first of all, just notice the if and only if part of it. So that tells us for sure we're going to have a biconditional statement. So we're going to have a connector of those double arrows. So something that's going to be connected by that if and only if. The first part of this statement says, "It is not Sunday." So notice P says it is Sunday. So if it is not Sunday, then that's the not P. So we would use this notation. So that's the not P. If and only if we are having sushi for dinner. So statement Q is that we are having sushi for dinner. So that's just if and only if Q. I meant to write Q there. If and only if Q. So not P, if and only if Q is the symbolic form of this statement. The second one says we are not having sushi for dinner if and only if it is Sunday. So notice an if and only if again. So that means we have the biconditional. We're not having sushi for dinner, so that's not Q. So the not Q, if and only if it is Sunday. And the statement it is Sunday is P, so that's not Q, if and only if P. This last one, in symbols, you would just say not P implies not Q. So the not P implies not Q is the way that statement is in symbols. And to write that out, not P means it is not Sunday. That's the it is not Sunday. And that's connected by if and only if. Sometimes people write that with two F's, by the way. That's the shorthand way of writing if and only if. So I'm just going to be lazy there. If and only if not Q. Well, since Q is we are having sushi for dinner, that means we are not having sushi for dinner. And notice that's exactly what that third option in the drop-down says. It is not Sunday if and only if we're not having sushi for dinner. Something I'll point out before ending this video, I've got the ALEKS explanation pulled up here on the next page that you'll see showing up now. Just some nice summary here. In symbolic form, if you have not M, that's the negation of M, and there are a couple different ways to say that. The most straightforward is just not M. So you say it's not the case that it's M, or it's not true that it's M. So as you see these verbal descriptions and try and write them in symbols, the point is there are several different ways of saying them. So the conditional statement, that's M implies N. The straightforward way is if M, then N. That's sort of the literal translation of this statement. But another way to say it is N if M. In other words, N will happen if M happens. Or M only if N. Or M is sufficient for N. Or N is necessary for M. And so those are all different ways of saying that conditional. The biconditional, again, same thing, several different ways of saying it. That first one, M, if and only if N, is the straightforward. There's that double F, that's the shorthand way of writing it. M is necessary and sufficient for N. That is another way to say that biconditional. So just wanted to point out that that when you click on explain for some of these, oftentimes there's some good, what I would call note-taking stuff, noteworthy stuff that you might want to make note of as you do some of these problems.